Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is April 26th, 2025. And today we're going to talk about why we should very much likely expect a small move down in altcoins followed by a much larger move up. We're going to talk about all of that, and following the analysis, I have a surprise for you, so stay tuned. Definitely watch until the very end. Let's get started with Bitcoin as per usual. And since we did a fairly extensive analysis last video, I'm not going to go into the details. If you want to really go into the weeds of my analysis, watch the video preceding this one. It's quite long, but this one I want to make short and sweet. All right, Bitcoin is pretty much where we expected it to be, right? It's in our pink box. The pink box was the target of our analysis, our many months analysis, and we're not expecting any moves up or down from here. What we're expecting is, in the immediate short term, some sort of consolidation for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin going side to side within the context, within the confines of this pink box. Once it finishes, then we're expecting a massive move down. We're not expecting for this sort of consolidation of Bitcoin in this pink box to last too long. We don't expect it to last weeks. We don't expect it to last months. We're talking about a matter of days. Within that time frame, we expect altcoins to do the following, right? Watch this. You can see this on, I don't know why the charts are all screwy. Let me change the chart. You can see this on the Bitcoin dominance chart, okay? Bitcoin dominance clearly shows its own consolidation at these levels, okay? Bitcoin dominance is going side to side. And this is the 4-hourly time frame, mind you. If it's going side to side like this, we're expecting it to eventually not break up, but break down. So there's two things you can do from a consolidation, all right? A consolidation can either be bullish or bearish. If it's bullish, it's called an accumulation. If it's bearish, it's called a distribution. Our analysis that I'm not going to go over once again, but that I went over in quite detail last video, shows that this is more likely than not a distribution. So Bitcoin dominance is more likely than not on the higher time frame to break down. Let's go on the daily time frame and we can see that. Look at the daily time frame stochastic RSI momentum indicator, my favorite indicator. You can see that stochastic RSI momentum indicator indicates that Bitcoin dominance is currently in distribution. It's going side to side only to eventually break down. This again is our confirmation of alt season. The breakdown finally of Bitcoin dominance from these levels and hitting eventually our expected first logical support level. So you can see that in Bitcoin dominance, and you can see that quite directly in our, let me change the chart once more. I think something happened and all my charts reset. So you can see that quite directly in the total 3. I like to look at the total 3 because it's all of the cryptocurrency assets minus Bitcoin minus Ethereum, okay? And so the total 3 on the daily time frame shows quite clearly what's going on. Look at this. Okay, so you have two things happening on this chart that are noteworthy. The first is you have this dark green channel that I drew in. That's about 500 days worth of price action. And when the total 3 broke down below this, in this teal channel, falling wedge, it was quite bullish. Even though it was broken down, the fact that the total 3 maintained bullish structure of a falling wedge, which is, statistically a bullish pattern, it was quite bullish, and we did finally get a strong bullish move after the third touch point. I always say the three phases of corrective price action is what you typically see in the market. So you hit once, you hit twice, you hit 3 times, and then you flew off. Zooming in, what do you see? Well, the total 3, which represents altcoins as a whole, are butting their head. It's butting its head up against that dark green 500-day channel, right? The bottom of which is now serving as resistance because we're below it. Remember, anytime you have previous support that you lost, it's now going to show or serve as resistance because you're below it. So now you're seeing quite clearly. Do you see that? The intersection of the teal channel and the dark green channel serves as a level of resistance, and that's what you've been at. So let's zoom in for those of you who can't see what I'm talking about. Look at that. Really clear, really clean. That is your resistance right there. And this is what you hit. You hit a certain target with altcoins, okay? Which is the top, both. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. Look, 2 things. You are both at the top of the teal channel, right? Which was your falling wedge, which was your bull flag, right? You're at the top of the channel, and the top of the channel is resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it. We're currently below, so that's resistance, and you're at the bottom of this 500-day channel. So you're under double resistance right here. This is why I say we should expect, with a high degree of probability, altcoins to retrace ever so slightly from this. Now let's look more closely. What kind of retracement are we looking at? Well, we're not looking at a retracement to 0. Absolutely not. Look, you have the foundation of a very believable, very robust reversal, because here you can see quite clearly you have an inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern on the high time frame, 4-hourly time frame. So you put that in, so you know what comes after this is more likely than not some sort of breakout. But remember, and I said this in the previous video, these corrective patterns, no matter what kind of corrective pattern, you should expect to take to take form, to roll out, to express themselves in flavors of 3. That's just what you see in the market, flavors of 3. So the first is your breakout, then your retest, and finally your ultimate breakout. So that's why I'm saying, so we had the initial breakout, and that was mid-April, okay? The initial breakout of this inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern. Breakout from the midline of this, I think it's an 80-day channel, this teal channel. You had the breakout. Now you're at a top, okay? You're at the next logical resistance that altcoins were going to meet. You did what you were supposed to do. You're showing signs of strength. There's some people, some of you on this channel who comment, thank you for your subscription, thank you for your participation in this community. You say, I get you on Bitcoin, but I don't really see what you see in altcoins. I'm not convinced that they're bullish. It's right there for you. All you got to do is study this chart. It's right there. It's very clean and clear. It's right there. This is a quintessential setup for a breakout. You have your neckline, your breakout. All you need to do is your retest, and then you'll see the real breakout, right? And again, flavors of 3. 1, 2, 3. A lot of people don't get that, and these simple principles are life-changing when you really understand them and you apply them time after time after time. They're principles. They're widely applicable. They're universal. There are no exceptions. This is what you always see. There's not, this time is different. No. You got your breakout of your inverse head and shoulders, and the height of the breakout was exactly, more or less, the height of this inverse head and shoulders superimposed from the side of breakout, the neckline. You got that. Check. Now, you need your retracement. How convenient that we get our retracement in and around the new moon, which statistically represents local market tops. The new moon, I believe, is tomorrow. One of you all told me. So, I mean, within a few hours, don't be surprised if you get a dump. A lot of people are going to say, here we go again. This is it. I thought we were bullish on altcoins. What are we doing here? This is what we're doing here. This is the final, it should be, based off of this analysis, the final retracement back to the neckline. And again, this may go down, right, all the way back down here. So if this is a flat correction, right, we're looking at something around this area for altcoins to retrace to. Okay, we're gonna look at Ethereum in a second just to concretize this analysis, because you can see it really clearly in Ethereum. But this is why I say expect a small retracement from altcoins before a much larger move up. Once we get the retracement, could be in a few hours, could be in a couple days or a day. The next move, and the first move that you should expect, is a move up and out of the teal channel. Finally, up and out of the teal channel, breaking the teal channel, and then eventually retracing. You have to flip now the teal channel as support, because the teal channel has been resistance for, I think it was 80 days. Let's just measure it really quickly. The teal channel has been resistance for, 80 days. Okay. So 80-day resistance has to be flipped into support. Again, that's a principle. Flipping previous resistance as new support. So now, once we see our retracement, you should be bullish. If this plays out, if altcoins do come down in the coming hours, you should be bullish if you're reading this correctly, because that means you're putting in the penultimate move, or it's the ultimate move. It's not the penultimate move, it's the ultimate move before a big altcoin breakout that we've been waiting years for, quite literally. Okay, and that first move, like I said on this chart, or as I indicated on this chart, is more likely than not up into the dark green channel and then flipping the teal channel as support. Okay, let's quickly look at Ethereum just to concretize this, because you can see it really clearly on Ethereum. Ethereum is the king altcoin. Ethereum is basically the bellwether for these altcoin movements. Okay, and Ethereum broke out just like many altcoins. It broke out not that long ago, just a few days ago, actually. And that breakout was here to the level of next logical resistance, right? The bottom of this channel right here that fell and was lost. Previous support now turned into new resistance. Ethereum broke out and it's hovering around here. What should we expect? If we're bullish, we should expect a retracement of the 80-day resistance that we've just broken, because you can see here on Ethereum really clean and clearly, Ethereum has been in a downtrend, a clear downtrend for 80 days. That was broken. Now it has to be retested, right? Here's your 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 3 phases of corrective price action. And your first target, I gave that publicly, is around 32.30, right? Like, these are the things I go over with my clients, and I give out targets. But yeah, that's my first target before any major retracement for Ethereum, 32.30. So in the immediate short term, once again, what do I expect from altcoins? Just like I said, as evidenced by the total 3, as evidenced by Ethereum, we expect a short-term retracement followed by a much larger move up. And in Ethereum, that's like 100% move after the retracement. 100% move to our target of 32.30. Okay, now thanks for watching up until now, and I really am grateful for your patronage of this channel, for your watching, liking the videos, commenting. Sometimes people comment like critical things, negative things. It doesn't matter, as long as it's not abusive. I don't mind being you all being critical, but I do really appreciate it. And in the recent past, you know that I was a partner to an exchange, KCEX, and I just didn't have a good experience with them. A lot of you all did participate in that exchange because they were offering some bonuses for you guys, and they just didn't follow through on on issuing those bonuses promptly. Sometimes, I mean, they would give you guys, you know, difficulties. They would always say you didn't pass the system check, and they wouldn't tell you why and stuff like that. So I didn't like that. So I'm now working with someone else. I think someone more serious, an exchange partner called CoinCatch, and CoinCatch has given me an event. So what's going to happen is this. So now this is my new partner, CoinCatch. They're serious exchange. They have good liquidity. They operate internationally, minus a few countries. I'm sorry if you live in India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Bangladesh, anywhere in Africa, or Pakistan. Those users in those areas cannot participate for some reason. Otherwise, you should be able to participate and KYC and do whatever you need to do with CoinCatch. And I trust my rep. I trust them as an organization. Thus far, they've treated me very kindly, and I've liked their exchange. Now, we're going to have events. A lot of times, these events may last a week, 2 weeks, a month, and basically, it's for me and my community. This new event that just started a couple hours ago, actually, is for my community, and they're giving $150 without any deposit. Again, $150 without any deposit to any new signups. Okay, all you gotta do, sign up and do a couple things like here. You gotta complete your first trade. You get a certain amount. So first thing, signing up, they give you $10. Complete your first trade, they give you $20. Again, you don't have to deposit up until now. And then the third task, you can deposit anything over $10. They give you an extra $20. But even if you didn't, and you managed to trade cumulatively about $5,000 worth of contracts, then they give you an extra $100. That's how that works. Now, once you complete the tasks, the second day after that, you should get your bonus. Reach out to me in case you don't, but they promised me that the second day after having completed your tasks, you get your bonus. No funny business like my previous partner. This is why I'm signing up with them. Now, during this whole event, only the first 50 of you that sign up can enjoy this, this bonus. The others may not necessarily be able to avail themselves of the $150 bonus. And then finally, during the 2 weeks, if you do trade any significant volume and reinvest your profits in your trades, then there are some other prizes and you can win up to $4,000. That's something else. But just the first event, very simple. It's leverage trading. Be very careful if you don't know anything about leverage trading. Be very careful. But this should enable you to try it out if you don't know anything about it, or to play with the bonus money on CoinCatch and just trade things up and down. So that's my sort of thank you to you all. I really appreciate you all. You've been with me on YouTube for quite some time. Right now there's 1,200 of you, and I really appreciate you. So that's it, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value. Consider buying me a coffee, tipping me, Venmo, Cash App, Litecoin, all in the pinned comment. Do also consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service, all at the pinned comment below. And without further ado, I wish you farewell and good luck.
The road could turn back, repeat the same story, or march forward and embrace change and reflect upon his glory. I'm a selfish man, therein lies the whole problem. Torn between my actions and the will of my heart. I had to take it all apart to see where I stood as a man, to depart from this world and leave it in his hands. Come on.
And it looks like I'm heading for the gold, y'all. Touring on a pothole road, y'all. I get it even if I didn't fit in, winning right up to the end, and like I didn't even know, y'all. I have Pop's genetics, working hard never to get it, like shit or better than letting life get the best of my efforts. Instead I dedicated to bettering my steps, measuring investments, watch me do it to the death, y'all. Run it.